my dear students. Welcome to a new chapter in your literature reader. It's a poem, The Solitary Reaper by William Wordsworth. This poem is a very famous one. You might have studied it in the lower grades too, and you have got to study this in your grade 9 too. So it's a very important poem. Let's see what's in the poem. In this module, you'll get to know more about the author William Wordsworth, and you will learn to appreciate the poem. This is the picture of William Wordsworth, the poet. William Wordsworth was born on 7th April 1770 in England. He was a great lover of nature. He admired simple rustic life. You can find common people like peasants and shepherds figuring in his poems. Some of his famous poems include The Prelude, Ode to Duty, Intimations of Immortality, and The Solitary Reaper. He died in 1850. So his poems always used to talk about the common people, like the peasants, shepherds, and all. And this is one such poem. Behold her, single in the field, yon solitary Highland lass, reaping and singing by herself. Stop here or gently pass. Alone she cuts and binds the grain, and sings a melancholy strain. Oh, listen, for the vale profound is overflowing with the sound. No nightingale did ever chaunt more welcome notes to the weary bands of travellers in some shady haunt among Arabian sands. A voice so thrilling never was heard in springtime from the cuckoo bird, breaking the silence of the seas among the farthest Hebrides. Will no one tell me what she sings? Perhaps the plaintive numbers flow for old unhappy far off things and battles long ago. Or is it some more humble lay, familiar matter of today, some natural sorrow, loss, or pain that has been and may be again? Whatever the theme the maiden sang, as if her song could have no ending, I saw her singing at her work and over the sickle bending. I listened motionless and still, and as I mounted up the hill, the music in my heart I bore long after it was heard no more. So, what is it about? See, the poet is telling about a Highland lass. Highland lass means a girl from the mountains of the Scotland. She was, lass means girl. She was singing a beautiful song as she was reaping the grain. Reaping the grain means cutting the grain and binding it. She was cutting and binding the grain, and she was singing a beautiful, sad tune, which was very melodious, very beautiful. The poet is telling that the song surrounded the valley in which she was singing. The beauty of the song was overflowing in the valley. So it was such a beautiful song. And the poet is telling that no nightingale or no cuckoo had ever sung such beautiful songs. No nightingale did ever sing such a beautiful song to refresh the travelers, the tired travelers who were resting in some shady places in the Arabian deserts. As they were traveling, they were very tired and they were resting. And no nightingale's song would be so refreshing as the Solitary Reaper song for this tired travelers. And he's telling no cuckoo bird song, which would break the silence of the seas, was so beautiful as the Solitary Reaper's song. No, the poet does not understand what she is singing because he did not understand the language that she was singing. But he knew and he was guessing what kind of song she's singing. He said maybe she's talking about the battles fought long ago, or maybe she's talking about her day-to-day sorrows, maybe parting someone, or some other sorrows that she has in her day-to-day life. He doesn't understand. But he says, though he did not understand the song, that song filled his mind. Whatever the theme of the song, it's, it let it not end. I want to hear it as long as possible. And he was telling that he passed by, but he was telling that the music was living in his heart, even though it stopped. Even though he could not hear it, the music was still in his mind for a long time. Now let's read the summary of the poem. The Solitary Reaper is a beautiful description of the poet's personal experience. Once, while passing through the hills of Scotland, a melodious song catches his attention. He sees a young girl reaping and binding grain in a field. She is all alone and is singing a sad song. The poet stops there to listen to her song. He makes no noise so that she is not disturbed. The poet finds the song very enchanting and melodious. The entire valley is flooded with her beautiful voice. The song is sweeter than the song of a cuckoo or a nightingale. The poet then says that no nightingale could have sung so sweetly to welcome and soothe the tired travelers of the Arabian deserts as the Solitary Reaper. Her song is sweeter than the song of the cuckoo bird that disturbs the sea's silence in the distant islands. The poet cannot understand the theme of the reaper's song, as the dialect is quite unfamiliar to him, so he makes some guesses. Perhaps she is singing about some tragic event of the past or some familiar event of her life, like the loss of parting from dear ones. It could have been about some battles that were fought long ago. Then the poet moves on to say that whatever be the theme of the song, the music of a song and the melodious voice leaves the poet spellbound. He stands motionless to listen to the girl's song. It seemed as if the song was never ending. The poet listens to her as she reaps and binds the grains, bending over the sickle. Then the poet goes up the hill, but he carries the music of the melodious song with him. The song leaves an everlasting impression in his mind and haunts him for so long. These are the new words we came across. Just go through these words. It's not much difficult. When you read the words itself, you'll get the meanings. Now these are the self-check questions. You have to answer them. You have to try answering these questions. Read these lines from the poem and answer the questions. Stop here or gently pass. Why did the speaker ask others to stop or move away quietly? What's the reason? Then second one, oh listen, for the vale profound is overflowing with the sound. What does this say about the song? What kind of a song is this? From these lines, what do you understand about the song? Now think and answer. You have to write it yourself. The speaker could appreciate the reaper's song, though he did not know the language of the song. How? How can we understand that he liked the song even if he does not understand the meaning of the song? And second one, what feelings do you think the song gave rise to when the speaker remembered it later? When the when the poet remembered about this song later, what all feelings does he have in his mind? Now, appreciating the poem. What is the rhyme scheme? Pattern of the rhyme at the end of each line of the poem. We already learned what is rhyme scheme. So now you have to find out the rhyme scheme and write it in your notebook. When you read this poem, several images come to your mind. List the different things. See, when we read this poem, we get the image of a lady. The first image is, it's given here, a woman out in the fields alone harvesting the grain and singing a beautiful yet sorrowful song to herself. The song echoes in the valley such that it seems to be overflowing with the sound. And then two more other images that comes into your mind. You can read the next stanzas and you can write down what are the other any other two images that comes into your mind. Now this is an activity you can discuss with your friends. You can discuss through WhatsApp or something. You can talk. You can discuss with your friends and write the answers. This is an activity. Was the language simple or complex? Did it tell a story? Did the poem tell a story? Was the repetition of certain lines or words? Was there repetition? Was some words or lines repeated? Just go through the poem and see whether it was repeated. Was it a first person or second person, third person narrative? What do you mean by first person narrative? If I see this and I narrate it, it's first person narrative. If it is second person, it would be the one person is telling the one's story, and similarly the third person narrative is third person is telling about two people. Okay, that is a different two people. So the third person is talking about two other people. That is third person narrative. And second person narrative means one person is talking about the another person's experience. So just tell me whether this is first person, second person, or third person narrative. That's all for today. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.